tracking a wake low, possibly, that is just went over Decatur. Now it's moving to the east. Looks like those high winds would be affecting the Skyline area pretty shortly. Getting some reports of some gusty winds there around New Market. We did have a confirmed report of 47 mile per hour wind gust in Decatur, and even some power lines down over there as this wake low moves on off to the east there. So again, could be getting ready to see some pretty high winds out there. We've had a half an inch, of rainfall. We're at 0.50, so we're getting close to an inch, but we haven't quite made it up there yet. Still a good bit of rainfall moving through, but this thing is quickly exiting with the heaviest of the rainfall moving through. And then behind it, we'll have some showers and wind. So take a look, make sure everything's working correctly. Just wanted to double check here. And let me adjust something really fast. Bear with me. Okay, where did that thing go? Okay, hang on just a second, everybody. I'm going to have to switch. Give me just a second. I'm not in the stream. Just give me 1 second. Pull the radar back up. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. There we go. Now we're adjusted back out. All right, so tracking this wake low, moving on off to the east. A possible wake low. Looks like it's going to go toward Scottsboro area. This big batch of rain. It's right here on the back side here where this clearing is at. If you've noticed this clear area here, it's going to be back there. Now, it may be weakening out a bit, so you may not get winds as high as they did in Decatur, but looking at it, it's very possible that you could get some high winds there too, because there it is as it's moving through Decatur. So watching the backside of that, Owens Crossroads, you're in the clear slot, so you could be getting some high winds. You may or may not be. As well as Gurley, Paint Rock, Ryland, New Market, getting a wind damage report here, but it's not significant. Just lawn furniture, trash cans displaced, small twigs broken. So that's equivalent to about 20 or 30 miles per hour. So there is definitely a wake low on the back side of this. It may be weakening, but there is a low on the back. You can actually circle it here and spot it on the radar. Right there's our low. Moving off to the east there, so on the back side. So moving forward, areas like Pleasant Grove, Skyline, High Top, Hollywood, Scottsboro, Stevenson, Bridgeport, all y'all will be getting this here shortly, probably within the next 20 or so minutes. Pleasant Groves, Woodville, Paint Rock, y'all will be getting it here within probably the next 10 minutes, so it's moving out pretty quick. Just going to keep tracking it. Thought I would do a live. And also the possibility of some gusty winds still exists for northern parts of Marshall County around Union Grove, Arab, Guntersville on the backside. Pretty much just on the backside of this rainfall. But the highest winds, honestly, look like they're going to be up here around the Huntsville area right now, just off to the east. So let me get a general idea here. So right in there, pretty big area, tracking off to the, looks like east-northeast. So, yeah, Skyline, Stevenson, Hollywood, Scottsboro, Bridgeport. You'll be getting this. Let me take a look at the velocity scan really quick, see if anything's changed since the last scan. Okay. Yeah, and wake lows are very unpredictable and very hard to spot, too. So I'm just using a few tools to see if I see anything, really. And we're really close to the radar, so don't freak out when it shows like 70, 80 mile-an-hour winds here. It's showing 58 miles per hour, which I know that's not legit. 62. Yeah, that's way too close to the radar site. So, yeah, it's not that high. At least I hope to God it's not. That's probably a false reflectivity there. Not exactly the word for it, but yeah, I'm going to say the winds are probably around 20, 30, maybe 40 miles per hour with this. And that's storm relative, so that's taking away the motion of the storm. So let's put the motion back. And now we're getting probably more reasonable readings. But yeah, right there's our wake low. I can spot it on the reflective or velocity here. So kind of curving on the backside there. So 44 mile per hour winds. That 43. That's about accurate. So moving toward Madison, moving kind of northeast toward Moores Mill area. So that's the batch that just moved out of Decatur there, and they did have some wind damage from it. So far, we got 21 mile per hour as the highest gust, and that's it. So we'll see what happens on the backside of this once it moves on out. Oops. But we are sitting back here tracking. We'll also be, watching a trough that's supposed to move through around the 21st or 22nd. Really going to have to keep an eye on that. The prediction centers or weather prediction centers already put out a statement saying that we could have some really high winds. North Alabama being circled out in that a very big area that we're going to have to watch. And also can't rule out a few severe storms. The instability's not looking good, but we're still a good ways out. So we don't really know what it's going to do yet. Albertville, well, you've got some rainfall right now. The clearing, once you notice that rain stop, if you're going to get any gusty winds, you'll be getting them at that point. Once this line right here moves on through this big batch of rain, those wake lows love to develop on the backside of really heavy rainfall. If you're going to get any of that wind, it'll be on the backside of this here. And I didn't mean to draw it out like that. My hand kind of slipped off the pad here. But yeah, it'll be on the backside of this area here if there's going to be any. But I believe up here is probably the best threat of high winds. It still cannot rule out high winds on the backside of this. Gusty winds, high winds possible. But so far, I'm not seeing any reports of that yet. I'm not seeing any gusty wind reports anymore. So this wake low could be weakening on out. Okay. So I'm actually going to switch it around here to another different radar color. See if that helps out any. Let's see if this one does any different. Okay, so we may have another wake low trying to develop here. Now, I'm kind of watching on the backside of this near Sneed. Just kind of keeping an eye on those areas that's, kind of clearing out. But yeah, if you're in Albertville, let me know if you get a really sudden high gust of wind. Let me know, because this rain's exiting right now. So if you're in Arab, if you're going to get the wind, you'll be getting it here momentarily. Same with Albertville, same with Boaz. You'll be getting it here momentarily if you're going to get it. Scottsboro also within the next little bit. Pleasant Groves, you should be getting the winds right now if you're going to get them, or within the next few minutes. Of course, Gurley, Paint Rock, Woodville areas, all those should be getting it in Jackson County shortly if they're going to. I'm not seeing any more reports, so that's a good sign. But we do have some power outages being reported. Marshall County. So we're getting reports of power outages in Marshall County now as this moves through. Let me take a look at that. Newest information shows there are 1,128 customers affected by this outage. Areas that are affected would be Alabama Power, Arab Electric Cooperative, Cherokee Electric Cooperative, Coleman Electric Cooperative, Huntsville Utilities, Marshall DeKalb Electric Cooperative, North Alabama Electric Cooperative, and Sand Mountain Electric Cooperative, all out of power. And I do believe we have a wake low developing on this. Blount County also reporting power outages as well. So 345 customers being affected by the winds there as well. So we've got a big area of power outages showing up on the map. Let me switch this map over really quick, or radar. Let me correct myself there. Radar. Let me switch it over to a more interactive. All right, so there's all of our power outages, and I've been watching that area carefully. Marshall County getting some reports. So far, looks like we got some, just those blue areas there are your power outages. So keep that in mind. We're going to keep an eye on things and stay live here in case those winds come in. Valley Head area. Valley Head, you're still getting a lot of rain. It'll be on the back side there if there's anything there. Again, wake lows are very hard to see, very hard to even determine. Pretty much the only way you know they're there is when you start getting power outages. And you can get some little indicators on radar that'll kind of give you, a little bit of a heads up if there's something going on. Sometimes you don't even get a heads up. The wind is the only heads up you get. So let's go take a look at Valley Head. Yeah, you're still way out ahead of this. So it's going to be windy. We've got 10 miles per hour here at our station, so it's going to be windy. The backside of this heavy rain, though, is what we're watching. And there could be some additional power outages, but there's two areas I'm watching now. There could be something trying to form here near Gadsden. There's some power outages there. And then where the wake low developed on the backside here, there's power outages up through here as well. So we're watching those areas, particularly where it's kind of dipping in. If you notice, it's kind of pushing in just a bit there. So we got two areas now that's doing that there. And, of course, that same area. So I'm going to be watching those two spots there. So Albertville, if you're going to get the wind, you should be getting it right now or within the next few minutes. So if we have someone in Albertville that can report back, that'd be good. But other than that, slowly making its way out, or actually moving out a lot quicker than what the resolution model showed. It showed it getting out of here, almost say around 4 a.m. And it's looking like it's going to get out of here by midnight with just some additional showers behind it. Yeah, you should be safe to go to bed, Kate, if you need to. It's not going to be damaging winds unless you're in bad luck and you have a tree fall down on you, which hopefully you don't. You don't at all. An outer area, you guys, y'all are still on my mind. It's just not made it that far yet, so I can't really say if the winds are going to make it that far, but it's a possibility they do. Looks like this thing is now entering Geraldine. It's moving in very quick, so by the way that's looking, I'm going to say there's a possibility there could be some high winds with this on the backside. Okay, and I just realized something. Let me switch out. Okay, let me switch out back to the other radar. So yeah, the radar is not indicating any crazy winds or anything. And I know that's not right. There's no way, because my radar would be going insane right now. Let's take the storm motion out of this. Okay, so 20 miles per hour it's showing, So yeah, ground reports are going to be important. If anybody gets any really high winds, please pass it along and let me know, because the radar's not showing a lot. All right, I'm not seeing as much of concern now as I was about toward Jackson County, but there could still be some high winds on the backside of it. My next area of concern is going to be, and I'm just going out on a limb saying this because I'm guessing, just to be honest with you, because that's without reports on the ground, I don't really know, but I'm guessing right in there might be something trying to develop. Yeah, the way that's spiraling, it kind of makes me think there's something right in there too. So, could be some high winds moving through Boaz within the next few minutes. Albertville, it's getting very close to moving through. Guntersville too. Crossville, Geraldine. That's the next ones, and the next ones I'm watching in Kilpatrick. So I'll know here in a few minutes if there's another low developing on that. So just kind of watching. Take a look at my chat. Yeah, if you guys would like to go to bed, you can go to bed. It's not going to be anything damaging. It's just going to be some gusty winds. You're going to just get some really gusty winds out of it if there's a wake low on it. Yeah, Megan, are you in Albertville? Just curious. And if you are, let me know if you get a sudden gust of wind, because it should be coming in right now on the back side of all this. So we're just going to kind of watch it. But yeah, you're nothing severe at the moment. When we're not expecting nothing severe at all out of this, just the rain and the wind. Okay, so you are getting some high winds now on Geraldine's side of 431. Okay, so I thought there might have been a wake low developing there. Okay, not much wind, just heavy rain. Okay, awesome. We'll see what happens there. Lakeview and Fife, I'm watching you guys. Y'all be up next. On the backside of this. We're just live, just to be sure. I had this person request it, so I said, well, I'm going to go live. But as always, we'll be here for you. We'll be tracking it. And we'll also be doing the same thing next week. Okay, so it's now passing just to the northeast of Arabville. Of course, you'll still get some rain behind it. Me and Kate's doing all right. She's on the phone over here still, being quiet. But we've been together almost 3 years. Still going through the same garbage we was. Just to be truthful, I guess we're just hanging on for the best. You love each other. That's what you do. Yeah, there has got to be some wind right in there. Just by the way that spiraling is going on there, there's got to be some wind right in there. Let me look at my power outage chart, see if anything's changed. Okay, nothing has changed. But we're going to wait and see, because still on the backside, there's a lot of power outages out there. There's power outages from Franklin County, Lawrence County, Morgan County, and Marshall County in a straight line behind this. So there's evidently some high winds back on the backside of this thing. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if it verifies itself or not. But there's definitely something, some gusty winds on the backside of it. Let's use Radar Omegas. I would think Radar Omega is pretty neat. Okay, I'm going to take a look at something real quick while you guys are looking at radar. Okay, so looking at Brad Travis's page, that's right, exactly where I went. At 10:25 p.m., a possible wake low was reported moving through Decatur area. Reports of power lines down in Phil Campbell. Wind gust was up to 47 miles per hour. So that was at 10:25 when that was moving through there. And that is the last information that I've seen on it. And I see my first alert just posted up an alert. Okay, special weather statement issued for DeKalb, Jackson, and Marshall counties. That was a little while ago. A brief period or two of gusty winds over the next 1 to 2 hours as moderate to heavy rain moves through. Wind gusts from the east to southeast at 35 to 45 miles per hour is possible. Motorists should be alert for sudden gusts of wind, particularly in high-profile vehicles. So that's been issued out for a little while now. So yeah, Albertville, Boaz, if you're going to get wind, you should be getting it momentarily. And then, Kilpatrick area be next in line, and then Crossville, Geraldine, Dawson, Lakeview be next in line here shortly. If there is, wind behind this. And Lakeview, of course, said Lakeview, Fife, Rainsville, Powell, Sylvania, Fort Payne, Valley Head, Henniger, Hyder, all y'all will be ahead in line after that.
Medical alarm, second activation. Female patient on page 2330.
Getting some wind in Rainsville. Yeah, Megan, any wind now? Just curious. And yeah, our getting hurt, Katie, over here, it's difficult. So it's a big process, a lot of money involved. A two that's just making it, that's just surviving, it's hard. To be truthful, it's almost impossible. We're doing all we can do. We're just praying. That's what we're doing. I guess praying for a miracle, you could say. And we can't get her, over here because the vaccine mandate's still in place to get the green card. And, everybody has their own opinion on it. And as an individual, we personally choose to not take it. So that's just our stand on it. Like I said, every individual's got the right to take it or not take it. But, right now our government's wanting to force it on you. If you come over here to live, you have to take 2 rounds of it, from my understanding. So, yeah, we're just kind of keeping our fingers crossed that, they lift it. And, we can get her over here, hopefully. All right, so no wind. Rain is still fading out. That's good. But, yeah, that wind could be further back. So we'll just have to see. But there is a possibility of some wind behind this, just letting you know. That way you can't say, well, hey, it got rough at my house, it broke some tree limbs and, it got pretty rough. So yeah, just so you know, there could be some wind on the backside of all this. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Not going to stay live much longer because, that ground report there tells me that, yeah, there might or might not be on the backside, but we will continue to get showers. They'll continue to move on through during the night hours, maybe even a brief thunderstorm. But right now, the only thunderstorms that I see are north of Birmingham, and they've kind of dissipated out, moving to the northeast there. But we'll continue to get showers throughout tonight as this thing moves on through this big area here. Now, there is something I want to share with you while I'm live, so let me go ahead and get that up here in the background. That way I can show it to everybody. We'll take a look at our next system here. Let me get my information up here, get my troughs information back up here. What on earth? Looks like the police are out at my girl's place. I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully everything's all right. Anyway, back to it. Let me get my background up. Thanks, John and Donna Harris. I appreciate it so much. I really appreciate it. And showers and stuff's moving off to the east-northeast. Now let me switch. We're going to switch over. I should be able to close that out. Okay. Now you're able to see what I was wanting to show you. So that is Thursday. So here's a little bit of a dip in the jet stream. We get that cold front moving through this. That's what we're dealing with right now. That's what's coming through right now. Backside of all this, high pressure sets in. So there's, you see your high pressure, sunny skies. It'll be sunny for a little bit. Keep on watching the weather pattern as we get toward the 22nd. We're very close. Watch this dip in the jet stream. They're actually calling this a mega trough potentially. And a mega trough, those can cause some problems, severe weather-wise. Look at that shear. Take a look at that wind shear. That is some intense wind shear. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on this system here. I mean, that's some decent shear right there. So that trough ejects on out across the area. Big mega trough is what they're calling it. Ejects on out across the area there. So we'll be watching the 20th to the 22nd. Timing could change a little bit. But yeah, didn't mean to request a sounding there. Let me show you just how intense this thing's going to be. Let me get my temperature up here, get everything realigned again. Okay, so let's back it up. This thing's going to produce some snowstorms up to the north and northeast. Keep that in mind, some snowstorms. Now look at this. We go back it way on up here. So we do cool off behind this system here. Let's back it all the way up to here. So here's our system we're dealing with tonight. And we will have a tropical system. We don't know exactly where Sarah's going to go, but it could impact somewhere around Georgia, southern Georgia, or it depends on this system here. I mean, really, the cold front, it depends on all that, where it's going to go. That cold front the system's supposed to just kind of absorb it in. It's the possibility of a snowstorm out there to the north and northeast. Now we'll move forward, getting closer to the 20th. Look at that temperature change there. I mean, just look at that. Look at our temperatures, 39 degrees, and we may get down into the 20s. You're hearing right. We might get down in the 20s. Look at that, low 30s, nearly freezing mark there, about 22nd. Let's move a little further out there. Look at that. By the 24th, we're in the almost mid-20s for lows. Sunday, November 24th, we're in the 20s. Look at that. Highs in the 40s, lows in the 20s. This is a significant air mass coming in here. And then get another, looks like another system possibly coming through by the 28th. We'll watch that. But this is something I hadn't even looked at. Looks like another dip in the jet stream around the 28th, and we get down almost to 19 degrees. Now that's pretty far ahead. That's the 28th. So, if maybe not, that may or may not happen. But one thing I can tell you that is, most definitely going to happen. We're going to back it back up into, get back into realistic world here. We'll definitely get into the 20s. By 22nd to the 24th. Looks like around the 24th we get into the 20s. So it's going to get cold. All right, wind is very strong in northeast Huntsville. Okay, thanks for that. I do not doubt that a bit on the backside of that range. So let's get the radar back up. But yeah, just wanted to pass that along to everybody. It's about to get cold. So thanks for watching. Like I said, possibility of some strong winds on the backside of this. It is starting to get out of here. We got 0.65 in rainfall here in northeast Alabama, or actually where I'm at. In Skirham here near 46, we got for our station 0.65. And winds are out of the east southeast at 13. So we'll keep you updated, and we'll see what happens on the backside of this. But take care. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And we're going to get off of here, and we'll be updating as needed. No problem at all. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.